making $486 trading OKE. Let's go into the recap. So we have essentially a $138 profit on the 10K account and $347.77 on the 25K account. So let's get into it. So OKE is a stock that I've never traded before. The chart is on the screen here. This happens to be a oil and gas pipeline company or related stock. And the reasoning why I traded it was because I did a brief scan. I just did a normal scan. And I came across the chart. I believe we did the scan on a live stream. I set my alert there on the break of about 109.25. And if we broke that on decent volume, I like the look for the breakout for continuation. The idea here was you can clearly see the influx in volume, yes, but at the same time, just momentum just came in absolutely crazy. This thing was down in the lower 90s, mid-lower 90s before the election. Post-election has gone nuts. They had earnings back at the end of October, so we knew we didn't have to worry about earnings, at least in the near future, which is usually a good thing for me. I don't like to be in holding through earnings. Obviously, I don't hold the earnings. Like, I don't want to be trading around the earnings or too close to earnings. Like a couple of weeks after, a couple of weeks before is kind of a sweet spot. Once you start getting close to it, it kind of gets a little bit weird. But, you can still get good moves sometimes. Who knows? Every situation is different. So we got the consolidation, and I was looking for the break of the consolidation. Really, that was all it was. The momentum came in. Clearly makes sense because it seems like, okay, oil and gas pipeline, Trump winning, like you can kind of connect the dots and say, oh, yeah, do I trade based off of, connecting dots and making, a hypothesis or a fundamental? No, I don't do that. It's just charts. But just in this case, I guess it kind of makes, like, you can kind of do the math. Oh, yeah, like Trump wins, oil and gas pipeline. Yeah, he's the oil guy, kind of makes some sense. This stock does well. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Oh, well, we got a good setup. Let's trade it. Like, boom. So, played the breakout, was risking on this trade about 1 to make 1.75. So my stop loss was down around 107.30 or something like that, 107.20, or 107.40, give or take. That was the bottom of this candle underneath the lows of the breaking candle, which was this guy right here. So that stop loss, the breaking candle low was around 107.50, so I put my stop loss just below that. And then we targeted. I was thinking about this one, like, yeah, we could maybe target 115. 115 would have been, I targeted 114. I got out at 114. You can see the executions here, actually. 114 flat, simple. Usually I like to sell just prior to hold numbers, but in the case of this situation with the spreads and stuff, I just target 114 and then let it ride. Swing trades doesn't really matter. It's not as big of a deal in my view. We're at all-time highs, so there's no like, oh, prior area of resistance over here. Like didn't exist. 115 would have been approximately a little bit more than a 2-to-1 risk reward. I just felt like the 114. I drew the map out, and I said this looks pretty good in terms of like, what would I expect, like based off of this move, based off this consolidation, and then what could we look for? Like, yeah, 115 makes some sense, but we're getting up there, we're extending pretty nicely. Let's not be super greedy. I'll take 1.75 to 1, and that's it. And so, boom. Could it go for more? Absolutely could, but I'm happy with my gains on it. I don't really care what happens from here. It is what it is. We move on to the next ones, and that's it. Which there are 2 new trades that I have, so 2 positions open right now that I entered yesterday. I sized a bit smaller on those just because I'm a little bit not concerned about them. I don't know. They're stocks I haven't traded this year, A. And then B, I just looked at them and I said, we're up a good bit. We had a bunch of good trades in a row. Generally speaking, like when I go to my stats, I see like, okay, we've got a 72% win rate. We've had we've had a loser in there. Don't get me wrong, but it's like when you start having a good run like that, I get a bit more like cautious in the sense of like, let's not just like, double it up. Like, no, I instead of sizing up when I'm doing well, I size down. The longer I do well, the smaller the size actually should be, in my view, because you're inevitably going to have a red trade soon. The longer you have that, so that's kind of the thought process. But they're still like, fine. They're decent size. They're not like, oh my god, half size. No, like there's maybe like 20-30% smaller than what this trade is really what it all is in terms of what I'm risking to what I'm targeting. So Yeah, like always, that was the deal. Now on the 10, like the way I do the math here is on the 10K account. So I made 138 in this case, and I was risking less than $100. Like I think I was risking like $80 or something like that. That's where it comes out. Maybe even like around there is what I was risking. So I'm gonna tag this setup was a bull, and we're gonna go with a daily time frame break. I can add some notes, but I'm not gonna bore you. That's the recap. I'll leave a link to TradeZella below, like always. Currently on the month, we're up like $15,500. Yeah, 15. No, sorry. Fuck. What did I just say? 15.5. 1,500 and a half. Why did I even say a half? We're up $1,549.93. If you round it up, it's $1,500 and a half. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. Profit factor at 3.61. Win rate, yeah, that's high. Again, it's 11 trades. So, yeah, you're going to have times where the win rate looks like that. Average win-loss is kind of low compared to what I'm used to be honest, trading with. I think part of that is because we just haven't really had a ton of losses. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's where that's at. So there you go. See you in the next one. I'll link up TradeZella. Code TC10 saves 10%. They have a Black Friday sale coming up. Stay tuned for that. If you're looking to buy it, I pay the yearly. They said they're gonna have a big deal, so see what happens. I'll let you know if I hear from them what it is. Peace.